Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Johnny and this is the SAU-40 Tier 4 French tank destroyer. And the first thing you're going to notice coming up from the Tier 3 is the size difference. Remember, the Tier 3 is absolutely tiny. Make a big jump up to this thing. It's more of a normal size tanks, but it is a bit boxy. And an issue with that is armour. 36 in the front, 35 in the sides and rear. You have pretty much no armour on this thing, and it's a big dirty box with a big dirty commander's cupola up there. So yeah, big target, no armour, not a good start. Well, let's have a little look at the gun, and I've just been using this gun, the 75mm. It's got 100 penetration and 110 damage. 15 rounds a minute, not too shabby. And there is the upgrade, the 105mm. Now I've not got this one, and I'm not going to get this one because I don't really like these guns. It drops the penetration down to 53, even though the damage gets boosted to 410. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that. I like my guns to have enough penetration to actually do damage. It's like with this thing, it's going to be lots of bounces, and I'm not overly keen on those guns, so I'm giving that one a miss. I am not getting the engine upgrade. It's an extra 40 horsepower, and the reason I'm not getting that is because I want to get as much experience as possible to move on to the Tier 5, because I absolutely hate this tank. It is not an enjoyable tank to play, and we'll just jump straight into a battle. It's something about it. I think that some of the worst tanks in the game are Tier 4 tanks. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me, but I think it's the most common tier that I've skipped with free experience. You know, I'll play a few games and then spend about 10,000 free experience to skip over to Tier 5. Because it's just painful in some games. You can get, for a good game, well, I was going to say it maxes out about 500 experience. That's not necessarily true, but for a really good game you can get about 500 experience, and for bad games you can get less than 100. So trying to grind out about 12,000 experience to move on, it's not easy. Not easy sometimes. With a tank that just can't really pull its weight or do much. It's yeah. So it's things like the AMX-40. I skipped that with free experience. I did play games in it, but spent about 10,000 to skip that. Trying to think what else there was. Is it the M5 Stuart actually? I really didn't like that thing, so I spent about 10,000 again to skip that. It's just something about Tier 4. They start playing with Tier 5s and 6s, and they're not really ready for those kind of games. Some of them. Of course, just some of them. But it's definitely the most common tier for that, in my opinion. Right, so we're going to climb up the hill here to the south. It is an encounter battle on Sacred Valley. Yeah, pretty sure that's what this map is. I do like this map. Take a very similar line as I did in my SU-152 video. If you haven't watched that, I highly recommend it. I love that gun and that tank. But anyway, we're talking about the SAU-40 today. And someone just jumped off the bridge and survived. And was quickly finished off. Right, this isn't a good place to be. Oh, there's people at the bushes further up, so we'll just stay here anyway. I should really be somewhere where I can get behind that building for cover, but meh. So yeah, with the terrible armour on this tank, it's not something you want to be getting involved in fights. kind of stay at distance, and I'm not going to get a shot on anything at this rate. Okay, I'm just going to drive past you, Mr. Valentine. Don't panic. But yeah, this has been a very slow tank with an okay gun and no armour. It's not very enjoyable when you're on a big slow target with no armour. Oh, come on. There we go. We got a kill. Slightly concerned we might not manage that in 2 games today. Although I don't know what's happening on the other team, but they've just melted. And I think I might go down the hill actually, why not? Try and find some excitement somewhere in this game. Hey. So yeah, problem with this tank, which is, well, became a trait of the French tank destroyer so far, is the cone of fire or arc of fire of the gun. It's not very wide before you have to stop and turn your tank. So tracking moving targets isn't the best. I suppose it'd be more suited to choke points, where you know the tanks can only come a certain way. But yeah, I'll just show you that there. Once we have a little shot at this, there we go. This is the arc of fire or cone of fire, from here the far left to here the far right. It's half the base at that range, and I'm being shot. Yeah, I'm probably going to die for that. But yeah, it's not a good tank. I think I've maybe bounced a shot in this once, somehow. Just keep our eye on him. Here we go. I would expect him to come charging down. Generally happens when people end up on low health, they just say, stuff it, I'll run in, go out in a blaze of glory. There we go. We win 15-3. Yeesh. Right, what do we get? 407 experience. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. But there wasn't really much to do in that game. Our team was very competent. We'll jump into another. But I'm not complaining about that, because my experience with this tank, it's just one of those tier 4s I do not get along with. Lots of bad games with less than 100 or 200 experience. And it just takes so long to get to the next tank, so I will be spending my free experience and skipping this thing. Right, encounter battle. I am not going up the hill. I will be doing the standards. Head over to E8, hide in the trees here.
Let's go.
Oh, just realised this is a tier 6 match. Brilliant. And this is one of the reasons why I don't go for the bigger guns. I say the bigger guns. Yeah, it's a bigger caliber gun. The 105mm, because it only has 53 penetration. So in a tier 6 game, might be nice to have 410 damage, but you can't penetrate them, so it's not going to do that damage. I'll just take more penetration, pretty much 9 times out of 10. Well, our guys have got up the hill okay so far. Here we go. My binoculars don't see anyone over here. It's probably still too far even with binoculars, to be honest. And we can't get anyone on the hill. Right, I'll move over here. This may be a very silly idea, but I'm not going to be doing anything from those bushes. Let the binoculars kick in. Don't see anyone. Okay, let's turn around. See if we can get these guys on the hill from here. Ah, that's not a good shot. Oh well, never mind. There we go. Not actually sure what my view range is on this thing. I like to have the shots going high and to the right. Oh, come on. No, no. Yeah. There's one thing I noticed with this, the travel time for the shells seems to be a wee bit longer than you might be used to. Yep, not getting him. Well, I think we lost the hill. So, someone in their team's got 5 kills. Okay, let's look at the hill. Led the target quite a bit there. And a bounce. Ooh. Yeah, so it's even with the highest penetrating gun on this tank, with 100 mils I think it is. Yeah, it's still not a great amount for these tier 6 games. I've got an electro capping. Stay still, please. There we go. Oh, he's got a fire extinguisher. Just dinged him. He's gone by the looks of it. Oh, here we go. And I'm going to die soon. Ricochet. I should really switch to HE. Oh no, he's dead. Okay, this is a bad choice. There we go. That's me dead. Yeah, I don't like tanks like this, particularly on open maps like this where there isn't much cover. Not hard cover anyway, just lots of bushes to hide in, but once you start firing, it's no good. But we should have this game wrapped up pretty well. He's going to drown himself if he's not careful. And there you are. That was the SAU 40. Don't know about you guys, but I hate the thing. And I highly recommend skipping it if you've got the free experience. 366. That was actually two of the better games I've had in this thing. Most of them have been terrible. Let me find it. There we go. 27 games. 52% win rate. So nothing too special. Yeah. Bit of a blip. I mean, tier 2 and tier 3, it's not majorly difficult if the tanks aren't very good, but tier 4 is where it starts to become a problem. Tanks just don't perform very well, especially when you start getting match made with tier 6s. It's just bleh. You generally can't do very well, unless you're a particularly skilled player. I find it's very difficult to get good games in these things. So when you're in a position like this, and you've been playing for a while and you've saved up lots of free experience, you can just unlock it and skip over to tier 5. So that is exactly what I will be doing. So thanks for watching, guys. Next time we'll be looking at the S35CA. So I'll look forward to that. I don't know how far I'm going to get through these. I mean, I would be spending a lot of free experience to get all the way to the tier 7 one, but we'll do the tier 5 one anyway at least. And that'll do for today. Alright guys, thanks for watching once again, and I'll catch you on the next one.